afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Geeti, Assistant Professor Physiotherapy Department. So today we'll discuss about the program development or prerequisites in plyometrics. Stability testing, like first of all static stability, stance leg or 30 seconds with eyes open, then eyes closed if weakness is determined. The individual program is limited and emphasis should be placed on isolated strengthening of weak muscles. Then single leg half 1/4 of squat 30-second eyes open eyes closed, and then half squat 30-second eyes open eyes closed. Dynamic movement testing, vertical or single leg jumping for distance, 85% passing score, like a functional hop test, and flexibility zone and specific flexibility. So program design, direction of body movement, weight of athlete, speed of execution of exercise, external load, intensity, volume and frequency, training age and recovery. So pre-16 should not do plyometric because active growth plates are weak side and can be overloaded acutely and chronically. And normally the adolescents have poor body awareness and core stability than adults, and poor control of techniques during plyometric can increase the load on susceptible structures. If a 16-year-old has had no base training, they need to achieve an appropriate level before starting a plyometric program. If plyometric training is poorly incorporated into an overall training program, it will contribute to overuse injuries and apophysitis problem where the bone degenerate and inflammation occurs, Osgood-Schalter disease, stress fracture, patellofemoral pain and plantar fascia pain. Classification of individuals. So beginner 4 exercises in 1 set, intermediate 4 exercises in 2 sets, and advanced 5 exercises in 2 to 3 sets. Now one can begin to develop and initiate a program. Plyometric categories in place jumping, standing jumps, multiple response jumps and hop, in-depth jumping or box drill, bounding, high-stress sport-specific drills. Indication: it has been advocated for athletes participated in sports that require explosiveness, high power output, vertical jump ability, minimize the risk of injury, and also in advanced stages of rehabilitation for return to sports. Then preparation of plyometric, athletes should have an adequate base of strength and endurance, muscle flexibility. The criteria to begin plyometric training usually include 80 to 85% of strength and 90 to 95% of range of motion. So next we are having the plyometrics in rehabilitation. So clinical plyometrics can be categorized according to loads applied to healing tissue: medial or lateral loading, rotational loading, shock absorption or deceleration loading. And plyometrics can further be categorized into in-place activities, dynamic distance drill, depth jumping, simple jumping drills bilateral to hopping drills unilateral, like in medial lateral loading, cutting activities, and progress to bilateral to unilateral, slide board or lateral bounding crossover. In rotational loading, it places stress on cruciate ligament, menisci, capsule, spin jump and lateral hopping. In deceleration loading, stress is placed on muscle, tendon, cartilage. And final preparation for return to sports, repetitive jumping and jump down exercises. Then progression with the speed of drills, intensity and repetitions of frequency. So what are the effects of plyometric training? It increases strength and power output. Also the Golgi tendon organ threshold is raised, increased neuromuscular coordination, increased speed activity more accurately so that the strength to perform is improved. And also when speed and coordination of activity is improved, greater power can be produced. Thank you.